Welcome to First Unitarian Society of Minneapolis, the birthplace of congregational humanism. We carry on that tradition of free thought today, dedicated to promoting a free search for truth, meaning, and justice. Our web address is firstunitarian.org. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning and welcome to First Unitarian Society. My name is Mike Bosich. I'm the music director here, and I just wanted to give a real quick brief about the music for today. I'm going to start by playing a song by Stevie Wonder, and I've got just 3 songs today by kind of 3 generations of songwriters who I feel have just kind of really spoken to and been able to capture the human condition as a little tie-in to humanism. So one piece by Stevie Wonder, Love's in Need of Love today, and then the middle piece is going to be by someone who's a contemporary songwriter named Adrienne Lenker, who is the lead songwriter and band leader of the band Big Thief, which is a great band. She's a really incredible songwriter. And then at the end, I'll be doing a piece by Alanis Morissette, who really captured, the 90s energy. And so a little representation of 3 generations of songwriters. So beginning with Stevie Wonder today.
Thanks, Mike. Welcome to First Unitarian Society on this beautiful Sunday morning in Minneapolis. Welcome to each of you, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever your pronouns, however you identify, whoever you love, whatever is breaking your heart right now. Present in body in this space or present in this moment with us online, you are welcome here. It is good to be together and to gather together as a community of seekers in this place where we commit ourselves to live out our common values, to bring justice, equity, and compassion into our daily lives, to resist all that threatens the earth and her people, and to live out our dream of a world of a community of peace, safety, and justice for all beings. As we gather together, let us attend to the need to walk humbly upon this land, the traditional land of the Dakota Oyate, and in particular of the Wapatuka tribe, who still call this place home. Recognizing the history of genocide and colonialism and their right to justice and self-determination, may we be good allies, advocates, and partners with them. First Unitarian Society is a member congregation of the Unitarian Universalist Association of Congregations. My name is Jane Graves, and I'm a member of the team supporting our interim minister, Rev Yulin. I'm joined today by our special guest, Reverend Karen Hutt, and I'll share more about her later. Yay! Mike will be sharing his music with us, and I also want to recognize the support of Jenna, Molly, Carol, Joyce, Paul, Heather, and of course Jacob and our amazing media team. Thank you, everyone. All ages are always welcome here in the Assembly Hall, which is evidenced by our multi-gen space in the rear. Should you need it, there's also childcare available down the hall to your left as you exit the space. Now I invite you, wherever you are, including those online, to take a moment to welcome the morning and to greet those around you, or to get up and get a teal and a gray songbook if you would like. Each week when we gather, we light our chalice as a symbol of Unitarian Universalism. We are led by its light, inspired by its flame, and drawn together by its warmth. We often light our chalice using words expressing our values and aspirations. Today, we'll use words written by Nancy Reed McKee entitled, "Our Community Knows No Boundaries." As Paul lights the flame, please join me in reading the words on the screen. And this is a long one, so it's going to be multi-screen, so have fun with that. Okay. Our community knows no boundaries. We are not confined by the physical limits of walls or, for that matter, of what often binds us, restricts us, holds us back. We are freer than we know when we release ourselves and each other from expectations of what is needed for true community. We are here together in space. I see you, I hear you, I love you, and I light this chalice, a beacon of this community holding us all together, here, now. Thanks. And now that our chalice is lit, let's share in reading our congregational covenant. Love is the spirit of this place, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. All right, now Molly's going to come up and help us with a song and explain it.
All right, so our song today is 1023, Building Bridges, and it's around in the Teal Songbook. And we will sing it all together the first time, and then we'll do it 2 more times. And during those, I will do the first part with this group right here, And then Jane will lead the middle group to come in, and then Mike will lead the third group to come in, okay? So we will cue you in, and we will do it as a round 2 times. All right? Sweet. Okay. So first time all together. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmonies. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmonies. Building bridges between our divisions. I reach out to you, will you reach out to me? With all of our voices and all of our visions, friends, we could make such sweet harmonies. Friends, we could make such sweet harmonies. Friends, we could make such sweet
First Unitarian Society is a congregational humanist community. We are here for each other, our neighbors, and our planet. And one manifestation of that is our caring team. My name is Carol Barclay, and I am a member of that team. There is always both joy and hardship in our midst. If at any time there's something happening in your life that you'd like to share with the care team or this community, or if you need some support, please call the FUS office or send a note to joysandconcerns@firstunitarian.org. You can also be in touch with us using our website. After the assembly, you're invited to stop by the card basket downstairs to send a note to folks you're especially thinking of today and who we have mentioned this morning in the announcements. This morning, I share the news that Teresa and Sharon Zingery spread the ashes of their beloved sister Shirley, whom they lost last fall. There will be a cake at today's mini meal after the assembly to celebrate her life. Jean and Anita Martinez are announcing that they are celebrating their 38th meeting of each other anniversary. I like that. Anita responded to Jean's ad in the Dye's Company, or D's, I'm not sure about that, newspaper, and they went on a blind date in 1987, well before online dating apps. And as Anita says, best $2 I ever spent. Love is at the center of this faith that we have. We take this time that we might connect with our shared humanity to embrace and celebrate the beautiful range of human diversity, to commit ourselves to showing up for those who need support, and to remember all who are suffering here and around the world. In the moments of silence, let's reflect on the joys, losses, griefs, milestones, and milestones. in our lives, in the lives of those we love, and in the lives of all beings everywhere. We'll take a moment of silence.
Our reading today is a collection of quotes from Black humanists compiled by our speaker, Reverend Karen Hutt. The first is from Lucy Parsons in a speech at the founding convention of the Industrial Workers of the World in 1905. We are here as one brotherhood and one sisterhood, as one humanity, with a responsibility to the downtrodden and the oppressed of all humanity. It matters not under what flag or in what country they happen to be born. Let us have that idea of Thomas Paine, that thy world is my country and mankind are my countrymen. From 1933, James Weldon Johnson in the book Along This Way. I do not know if there is a personal God. I do not see how I can know, and I do not see how my knowing can matter. What does matter, I believe, is how I deal with myself and how I deal with my fellows. Walter E. Hawkins, in a writing Too Much Religion in Chords and Discords in 1909, wrote, "Let us have less talk of heaven and do right a little bit." A. Philip Randolph, the keynote address to the policy conference March on Washington movement in Detroit, September 26, 1942, wrote, "We want the full works of citizenship with no reservations. We will accept nothing less. This condition of freedom, equality, and democracy is not the gift of gods. It is the task of men." Zora Neale Hurston, in Dust on the Tracks in 1942, wrote, "Someone else may have my rapturous glance at the archangels, the springing of the yellow line of morning out of the misty deep of dawn is glory enough for me." In 1917, in an interview, Gwendolyn Brooks said, "I don't have any special religion. My religion is, I guess I'll say something corny, people living." And James Baldwin, in The Fire Next Time, written in 1963, "If the concept of God has any validity or any use, it can only be to make us larger, freer, and more loving. If God cannot do this, it is time we got rid of him."
So it is my pleasure to welcome Reverend Karen Hutt. Karen has been a UU minister for 26 years. She has served as a religious educator, church builder, and senior pastor. Currently, she is a clinical pastoral educator teaching chaplains at the Veterans Administration and the Army National Guard. So let's welcome Karen.
It's so nice to be here again. It's been many years since I have graced this lectern, and I think the last time I was here, it was was the speaker for Jim Fode's ordination. So he has been ordained and worked and retired since I've been here. I'm grateful for the invitation of your interim minister to be here today. Thank you so much. Friends, I don't know about you, but some mornings I get up, get my coffee, turn on the news, I keep it kind of low, or I look at the headlines a little bit intentionally askew with one eye, because even if I scan my phone, I do so carefully like it might even be a bomb that'll go off in my hand. I don't know about you, but what used to be extraordinary has become ordinary. What used to be unthinkable is now the everyday. What used to be unbearable, we have adjusted ourselves to be acceptable. A radically changed and highly charged political choke has taken hold of our country, in our social and political atmosphere, in ways that sometimes make us feel as if we are either in an SNL skit or we're walking around like inept zombies in a moral apocalypse. We can throw our hands in the air, we can silently shake our heads, we can gesticulate all we want, but what is happening now, many of us have not seen before. Many of us could not imagine, and for a few of us, of a certain generation, we are seeing things that remind us of things we'd rather not remember from the past. But for many young people in this country, this is the only America they have ever known. They have never known a world without the headlines that make us cringe. For them, the creeping fascistic state is normal. It's just normal to them. Yet here we are, preparing to fight to maintain due process and birthright citizenship. What has been abnormal has become so normal, and as human beings who speak Spanish and Creole are being locked in infested cages, and women are bleeding out because of the lack of reproductive care. So I say you, what say you, dear humanists? What say you, humanists, these days? Those who call ourselves humanists are people holding on to an idea and believing, hoping and envisioning the potential of what is good, doing what is decent, doing what is ethical, doing what is fair and what is just. What say you, humanists, who believe in inherent goodness? What say you to our neighbors a few suburbs away who are in churches who believe that the current direction of our country is just fine, fair, and just? The notion that Americans with different views of reality can harmoniously and productively coexist has come to seem more like a quaint fiction than an actual reality. The idea that Americans can have civil conversations, civil discord with members of different political parties appears to be from a Tom Hanks or even a Jimmy Stewart movie. The evidence that the majority of Americans, if given a chance, would fight to preserve the common good for all over the comfort of a few is slim. The evidence of that is slim. Yet these are the aspirations of humanism. No matter what flavor of humanist we are, humanism is a philosophy. We are people without supernaturalism. We are people who affirm our ability and responsibility to lead ethical lives with personal fulfillment and community good. We aspire to this greater good of humanity, guided by reason, inspired by compassion, and informed by real experience. Ours is a view of the world as it is, what the world might be, and what we might be able to do about it. Now, given these cursory fundamentals of humanism and the current fundamentals of America, my question in this time of heightened animosity and aggression is this: have our nice humanist words, values, and democratic principles become irrelevant? Or are they merely utopian fantasies? Or are they now more urgent and necessary to be given flesh than ever before? Today, I'd like to take you on a little, like an Amtrak train ride. Remember Amtrak? I'm from the East Coast, so Amtrak between Boston and Washington, D.C. was my life. I'd like you to imagine yourself on one of these Amtrak trains with me. We're going to call it a humanist train. And there are 3 different passenger cars on this train, all linked together. There are all kinds of humanists on this train, but each car has its own flavor and its own style. The first car is decorated in wood paneling, and there are good rugs on the floor. It's a little parochial, but the seats are comfortable and plush. That's my car. I'm a Yankee, Philadelphia, Boston boomer. That's my humanist car. The tones here can be a little pedantic, a little academic. Some of the jargon is obscure, and they love to talk about the great canon of the revolutionary humanist thinkers. They understand the nature of humanism is to question, upset, and perhaps reform. For the folks on this train car, humanism is deeply personal, and it is not attached to any particular theorist or practitioner. But there are pictures on the wall: John Dewey, Noam Chomsky, and lots of little square boxes of famous UUs. If you meet them at the snack bar, they're chomping on a baguette and maybe a little nice good cheese. They define themselves as free-thinking and hopeful. Pass the cherry and perhaps a little port. They are good folks. Setting aside all thoughts of the afterlife, these humanists focus on making the most of their earthly existence, pursuing happiness as they traverse the good earth and seek to mitigate suffering. In this train car, you can hear them reading 19th century American freethinker Robert Ingersoll, who said, "Happiness is the only good. The time to be happy is now. The place to be happy is here. The way to be happy is to make others so." But if you look into the eyes of the people on this train, you can see, in this car, you can see that they are still believing and longing for a world that is yet to come. Now, the second car is designed a little differently. Lots of bright colors, hip-hop music, and dreadlocks. There are pictures of Lorraine Hansberry, the 1990s humanist rapper KRS-One, Norm Allen, Zeta Smith, and posters from organizations like Black Nonbelievers and Latinx Humanists and biracial Jewish Reconstructionist Buddhists. It is louder than the other car, and the furniture is lower. Think IKEA lower. The snack bar has ramen, kombucha, and kale chips. They are rooted in the humanism of the landscapes that they occupy in communities of color. They are bravely standing up in black spaces asking that prayer not start every darn meeting, and are deconstructing white supremacy's relationship with Christianity and oppression. They are reason-centered, scientific, and rooted in the here and now of the human hand. This is the Gen X millennial BIPOC humanist train car. They see themselves through the lens of independence, social entrepreneurialism, and community nation building. That is their call. Most of these humanists grew up without religion, so they have created rituals and symbols of belonging to celebrate their humanism, which is not solely defined by that word. Their conferences and gatherings stress the relationship between the historical context of their conditions in America and around the world with their quest for dignity. They are also making international connections with the 220 or so African, Latinx, and Asian human organizations around the globe. But you look in the folks' eyes in this car, just like the ones in the previous car, and you can see in their eyes they too are dreaming and hoping of a world that is yet to come. Now, when you look in a third car, you can see that they are it looks like they're like getting ready to practice for a demonstration, or they're playing a game of Twister. You can't tell what's going on. This is the Gen Z humanist car. They have pictures of Greta Thunberg and Maxwell Frost and Bernie Sanders and Nina Turner on the wall. Having been born into anti-human policies and school shootings every week, they seek a humanity in our culture that they've never seen, that they can only dream of. Their humanism stems from creating social change through high volumes of advocacy and action and activism. For these young humanists, they may not even call themselves humanists, but they are the generation that will lead with similar tactics and philosophies that are more similar to the greatest generation when they translate theory into action. Organized labor movements? Oh, who is leading that now? Who is leading that? Organizing of unions in Starbucks and Amazon. Gen Z. In this train car, they sit on the floor sometimes, drink smoothies from personal blenders, take time to care for each other, tend to mental health, and they collaborate. They read books like Humanists in the Hood. There are signs that say Free Palestine, and they practice what they call cultural relevant behavior towards one another. But you look in the eyes of these folks like the previous two cars, and you can see that they too believe in a world that is yet to come. Now suddenly, there's a disturbance. A truck has crossed the track and caused the train to stumble and stop. The truck that crossed the track that stopped the train is a truck, a van, a U-Haul van filled with Proud Boys in khakis and face masks. And they tumble out of the truck, chanting, "Jews will not replace us." And then they run away like cowards. The train comes to complete stop. Everyone has to get off because of this accident. The train is a little like our country right now, a little bit derailed by policies that are anti-human, policies that propel us towards hatred, politics that accelerate violence. The train is slightly derailed by anti-intellectualism, anti-woman, anti-child, anti-trans, anti-earth mandates. Oh yes, we are stuck right here. Now, when the humanists from all these three cars get off and start to mingle with one another while a new train is summoned, the passengers, while they were all traveling in the same direction, realized that they had no knowledge of one another. The boomer humanists ask, "What was that music playing in the millennial Gen X car?" The Gen X sees the Gen Z humanist in the Hood book and says, "Hey, can I take a picture of that? I want to order that." Gen Z asks the boomer, who is wearing a button from the Vietnam War, if he was there. The conversations become curious amongst the three train car passengers. They become engaged, authentic, and nonstop. There are bells going off in their heads and smiles and nods and connective tissue being sewn between ideas. You can hear people saying, "Oh yeah, I get it, yeah, right. Howard Zinn was your teacher? Yeah. I read the People's History in 8th grade. Maybe so. Never considered that. Really?" And then come the high fives. You look at all of these folks and you can see in their eyes, they all are seeing a world that is not yet come. They also realize the power that they have together to confront these horrors before us is greater than they've ever imagined. They realize that the movement they can build together could lead the country into its aspirations in ways none of them could have done alone. And they feel the imperative to work together. Friends, humanist values can be really easy if it's just me doing my thing and everyone stays out of my way. You know, we're all pretty great humanists until another human enters the room. When all those other humans enter the mix, that's when our humanism is tested. But it's also when our humanism's full power can potentially be unleashed like it was in these train cars. Friends, in 2025, in the last 10 years, humanism is going through some things, and that's a good thing. It's being enlarged and challenged and reshaped and humbled and transformed as it should be if we believe in the evolution we claim. Humanism has been humbled by human failures and misunderstandings and myopic visions of what it could be. And it's had to learn to make room for doubt and awe within itself. Embodied humanism lives beyond words. As another descendant of this congregation, Dr. J. Exodus Hooper says, another Black UU humanist, he says, when we take a stab at trying to make change, I don't know that I'm necessarily always interested in like-minded people as much as I am interested in like-hearted people. In other words, it's one thing to agree cognitively with one another, it's a whole nother thing to agree with them on a deeper level of like-heartedness. So, in those three trains, there is a collective wisdom and the potential of collaborative endurance to push through what we are fighting against, because we are in a fight. This is a war. Those three train cars of humanists can uplift, support, and encourage each other in the battles ahead as we exchange old practices and mix them up with social accountability to build this humanist, multi-generational, multiracial, multi-class, multi-regional global community. Well, finally, a new train comes. It's bigger, but it's only got one car. So they grab all their stuff, the baguette and the brie, the smoothies and the kale chips, and don't forget the ramen. I don't know who's going to be the DJ on that next train, but I can imagine it might sound something like Joan Baez singing Kendrick Lamar. Blessed be.
All right, so we are going to sing number 170 in the Gray Songbook. We are a gentle, angry people, and we're going to do verses 1, 2, 3, and 6. And you all can stand up if you're willing and able, if you'd like.
Good morning. I am Joyce Riedessel, and I am a member of the Board of Directors for the First Unitarian Foundation. First Unitarian is a free, independent, and self-governing humanist community. As members and friends of this community, we share the gifts of our time and energy, our creativity, our imagination, and vision, our talents, our skills, and our treasure. Your financial support is an important element in turning our shared vision into reality. As the baskets are passed, you are invited to give generously and joyfully as you are willing and able. You can use the QR code on the screen, which will take you to our online giving form, or you can stop by the office or mail in your direct donation. Please feel free to reach out to us with any questions about giving to First Unitarian Society.
Good morning. I'm Heather Martens. I'm chair of your Board of Trustees at FUS, and I have a special announcement today. In today's new political reality, it is more important than ever to be involved and active in the struggle for social justice. This requires figuring out what to do, doing it together, and sustaining our efforts. With the help of organizer Lily Benowitz, she should wave, who is joining us for the first time today, we're holding a series of Meeting the Moment labs. Today's session, after the mini-meal, is called Bending Without Breaking, Navigating the Long Arc of Justice with Lily. Future ones will be next Sunday with me, Resistance Lab, the Pillars of Support of Authoritarianism, and August 3rd, The Work That Is Yours to Do, Finding What Calls to You, and August 17th, Practicing the Art of Solidarity, also with Lily. Attend one or all. Today's session is in person only in the Upper Assembly Hall. Sorry about the error in the Friday email. It said it would be on Zoom too, but that will be arranged for those interested in doing a Zoom session. But today it's in person only, and it will be great. I hope to see you there.
All right. After assembly, for those in the building, please join us downstairs for conversation and our weekly mini-meal. We will have a donation jar and a credit card reader for mini-meal donations, or you can scan a QR code. Today's mini-meal is Moroccan red lentil stew, caramel apple oats, with a choice of can't-be-beat chocolate cake or applesauce spice cake for dessert. Yum. And I challenge you guys today to try and talk to somebody you've never talked to before. So it could be somebody who is new, or somebody that you've always meant to, you see them across the way and you just haven't quite gotten there over there yet. Like, let's try and shake it up a little bit and talk to somebody new. All right, and that's it for announcements. So we are ready to extinguish our chalice. So as Paul comes up to extinguish our chalice, please join me in the words on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. All of these we carry in our hearts and in our minds until we are together again.
I just want to say that I'm proud of the many boomer and older white Americans who are hitting the streets in large numbers. I just have to say this. If we came out and protested, me and my folks, we know what kind of reception we would have. But my heart is hopeful because I see you in the streets. I see you putting on the pressure. So my message to you, friends, is to leave here today with the power to continue to do good. Leave here today knowing that you're being accountable. And leave here today knowing that it is only us that's going to save us.
Oh, okay.
Really wonderful talk, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And the boomer.